Hey guys, I'm Jason, and today I want to talk to you all about the difference between the iKamper SkyCamp 2.0 and the iKamper SkyCamp 3.0. Now, they just recently released this a few months back. Now, there were some pretty decent upgrades, in my opinion, on this one. The first is, the fabric. Obviously, a lot of you guys have seen that. And there's also the, brushed badges on there as well. But there are some other differences that I want to go over. But I guess we can go ahead and kind of start with some of the similarities. We'll go ahead and open both of these up and show you guys, they're pretty similar opening up. We'll start with this 2.0. Turn the lock here. This bottom one comes off. Note that in this one, this one opens from the bottom. For me, it's not really an issue. I have the out gear solution, so I have a ton of play here. Now, if you have an up top or Prinsu or anything like that, then some people complained about this bottom opening one, so that is something that changed on that one. But I'll show you guys that these are going to open the same way. You're just going to push this open like that, and then you're just going to reach up and grab the ladder and pull that down. Yeah, so basically these are both kind of open the same way. They're both fold out. They have the exact same floor space in them. I don't know the exact measurements. I'll put them up here, but they're both huge inside. These are both very, very large, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to go with this. So they both have the rain fly that is removable. If you remove the rain fly, then you have like a really open roof on there. There is like a little skylight up there. So yeah, save you some time. We got the same here. That's scary, that lightning, but. All right, so inside here, these are very, very similar. You've got the map up here. I think that there's a little bit of an upgrade on yours, like maybe it's like crisper or darker or something like that, but pretty similar. That's their signature kind of thing there. Same space in here, same skylight. The windows are different on the 3.0, but I'll cover that a little bit more in depth in a second. But yeah, now this one does have a carpet on it, right? That does not come from the factory, so don't think you're going to get that on there. This is just to kind of prevent condensation. Although I would recommend replacing it every once in a while. I think this one needs to be replaced. The mattresses are different, but these are not the original mattresses. I will show you some B-roll of what my mattresses originally looked like. The map on this one is going to be a little bit different than the 3.0. I believe, it's still the same. Obviously, it's still the same planet. Still the same map of the Earth, but I think it's upgraded a little bit. I think it's like a little bit more crisp. The lines. So the skylight is the same. The entrance is pretty much the same. Now, there is a big difference with the windows. If you have the 2.0, you know that you can unzip first the this little thing right here, which is going to keep rain or anything out. On the 3.0, it is going to be a little bit different, but yeah, I'll show you guys that when we actually get in the 3.0. If you have a 2.0, you already know what this looks like inside. Very spacious, great tent, opens really great, and it can actually keep stuff in it. My old tent, I could not keep anything in it. If I left a piece of paper in there, it wouldn't shut. That's an exaggeration, but you get the point. In this one, the 2.0, you can close some stuff in here with the stock mattresses. I have opted to go with aftermarket, very thin inflatable ones. This deflates very low, and I can put my sleeping bag and my pillow up here, and as long as you push it sort of towards the back, you can keep more stuff in here. The 3.0 will have more space, but we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so the 2.0 is, if you get it not in the Rocky Black, I think it's like $3,600. And if you get it in the Rocky Black, which we both have, the 3.0 and the 2.0, we both have the Rocky Black. That one is going to be about $4,000. If you're getting it used, you're probably going to look at something around like $3,000 for something like this. If you can find it, usually when they come up, they go real quick. So 160 pounds for this one, And yeah, roughly about $4,000 for the model as it is right here. And that does not include accessories. But yeah, let's go ahead and open this 3.0 and I'll show you guys some of the differences from in here to that one. Is the 3.0. This is also in the Rocky Black. Like I said before, this is, in my opinion, the best way to go because, you know, if you do any off-roading or anything like that and a branch scrapes across it, the shiny, the gloss black is not going to get punctured from, you know, some slight stuff, but it will show a lot of like lines in it. So the Rocky Black is, in my opinion, the better way to go. You know, it's really up to your choice and is for aesthetics, but in my opinion, and both of our opinions, I think the Rocky Black is the way to go. So this is going to unlatch here on the top, whereas mine came from the bottom. So if you see in this one, there is enough space if you had the 2.0 to get it, but it's very tight. So this was definitely an upgrade if you have a roof rack like this one. So again, same situation, two of these, you know, and they open down like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open it. This is the same as the other one. You'll just open it. And I will say that actually felt smoother. I don't know what it is. That felt a lot smoother than mine. Mine is a lot older, so that could be the case, but this does feel a little bit better. First thing you'll notice is on mine, this does not have it. The 2.0 does not have this little bag here. This is really cool because you can actually reach in here and grab these. So you'll be able to reach in and grab that and keep it kind of off by itself. I usually just kind of set mine in there and I've not really had a problem on the 2.0, but you know, it is definitely an upgrade for sure. So another one we're gonna look at here, it's like a little plastic thing here, whereas mine is metal here. I don't know the significance of that, but that is a difference there. So same on this side. Yeah, let's get you under this, yeah, under the rain fly here. All right, so the first thing, other than obviously noting that this is, you know, sort of a black, they do upgrade to the YKK zippers, which are a much better zipper. Honestly, in my opinion, I have had some pretty bad situations with zippers before. Not on my iKamper, but I have on some other ones. Now, I'm very vigilant about putting zipper lube on it, but not a lot of people are. So the YKK zippers are a huge upgrade. So again, you'll see back here, we have you know, the map back here. Now, I do see what they're actually talking about now because the lines are a little bit crisper on here. This isn't like something that is absolutely necessary. It's just definitely an aesthetic thing, and I think it's really cool that iKamper chose to do that. You will notice that it is actually a little bit darker in here, it seems. Now that might just be because my fabric is a little bit older, but this is sort of like a blackish color, like a little bit black, although I believe they call it like a granite gray or something like that. In my personal opinion, the biggest thing that made me think back and forth of whether I wanted the 2.0 or the 3.0 was this fabric. I have that burgundy and gray. You know, I have no burgundy on my car. The gray is fine, you know, that's whatever. But I just really did not like the burgundy color. I really don't like the aesthetics of that one. This one is pretty much exactly what people were asking for. Burgundy, I think a lot of people didn't really like that, but you know, they just put up with it because it's a great tint. You know, it really is a good tint. It's just the colors, you know, aesthetics, not everything. Some people might disagree with that, but biggest determining factor, I think, for a lot of people is this upgraded fabric. So the floor space is exactly the same. This is sort of what the 2.0 and the 3.0 come with. I believe this is what mine looks like on the floor, although mine might be like white, but it's not a big difference. A huge upgrade for the stock ones is this mattress here. This is the, I want to say it's called the 9-point mattress or something like that. Different textures, stuff like that, and the padding is really nice. It also has this on the bottom, which should keep in heat a little bit better. I don't see an R value for this anywhere online, but I'm sure it does help with the heat, but it also helps with the condensation as well. Now this one's 2.5 inches thick, whereas the original mattress that came with mine is 1.7 or 1.8 inches thick, which is not great. I have upgraded to a 3-inch mattress now, so it's pretty similar to this, a little bit bigger, but you end up spending an extra you know, $400 or $500 on that. The reason why I had to upgrade my mattress is, one, because of just comfort. I really just enjoy a thicker mattress, but two, the storage is actually shorter in that one than it is in this one. So I believe that one is 12.5 inches tall and this one is 13 inches tall. So you get a little bit extra room in here to store more stuff. Basically, yeah, you've got your two mattresses here. This is a double and this is, I believe, a single, maybe a twin, something like that. It's definitely two mattresses, but this is huge. This is absolutely huge. I'll put the measurements up here, but this is the biggest tent I've ever been in. It's super comfortable. You know, it's so much space for, I think it's 3 to 4 people in both of these tents. Although I would probably only do 3 in here. This being slightly taller, they've made more room for space in here. So if you had gone with the inflatable mattress in here, you could get even tons of stuff in here, honestly. You know, this scrunches down pretty good, but if you went inflatable mattress on this one, then you could get tons of stuff in here. It looks like sleeping bag, an extra blanket. Do you have a pillow you put in here or no? No. Okay, so no pillow. The reason I'm able to fit that in mine is because of the inflatable mattress. But if you have the stock one in the 2.0, then you might be able to get a sleeping bag in there at best. All right, so a big upgrade on this is the actual windows on here. Now, I don't really necessarily have a huge complaint with the old ones that I have, but that plastic material, if it collects dust and dirt and stuff like that, you can see mine kind of look like a little bit brown almost, like they've got a little tinge to them. But this one doesn't have that plastic kind of looking thing in here. This actually has like a really nice integrated full-on thing right here. So you can actually, there's 2 zippers on here. You can unzip just this one, which if you have the blinds open, then you'll be able to see out with just the screen. If you want to, you can just unzip on the same one, this, and then without this blind here, you'll be directly outside. I'll show you guys that in a second. So with the blinds, that is another big upgrade here. Unzip. So you just unzip those sides, and you'll see these 2 right here. You're just gonna pull on those. Somewhere on the other side of this is that, but this is fine like this, and then you can just like cinch it like that. And if you want to, at this point, you can still do, you can still close this and unzip this, and then you have the screen here, and that'll protect you from, you know, bugs and stuff like that. Then you'll also have, you know, light coming in and breeze coming through here. Again, on both of these, you'll have storage. On mine, for some reason, it doesn't have this here. I don't know if it got ripped off or something like that. I mean, like I said, it's used. Those 2.0s will come with that, but for some reason, mine doesn't have it. Not really sure why. There's also the upgraded struts. Now, I'm not exactly sure what makes these upgraded, but these are upgraded. Now on mine, on the bottom, there's just the pole down here. So you can, you know, put a little spacer in there to keep it from like falling if the wind is like crazy. I mean, I've been in some pretty heavy winds with mine and it's not even budged, but you know, let's say you've gone over what the factory recommended limit is. You can put a little thing on the 2.0 to stop that. But I've never run into that problem. If the winds were higher than the manufacturer's suggestion, I would just leave because that would be very fast wind. I can't show you the one back here, but there is one over here. So this is like a little grommet to run, you know, you can run like electrical stuff through here, like these lights up here. If you didn't have a little power bank or something like that, you could run these to the car. That's a really cool upgrade. But for me personally, I don't have anything that runs in there, so it's not a big issue for me. If you really wanted to, I know it's a very expensive tent and drilling holes is sort of, you know, not something a lot of people want to do, but you could drill a hole in it and put your own grommet in there if you wanted to. I am not going to do that, but you could if you wanted to. All right, so pretty much everything in here I think I've covered that's different. There are some things on the outside, like obviously the badges and stuff like that, and we can go out and talk about that. All right, so this is the 3.0 badging here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do you have the same badging on your 2.0? Well, The original badges that were on here were fading a little bit, and I didn't really like the red on it, so I tried to paint them and it just really didn't work out. I reached out to iKamper, the old, like, it was chrome and I believe like a little red K on it. Now I don't have any red on mine. I actually have more yellow than anything, and I didn't want it to look like McDonald's. So I try to keep the red and yellow away from each other. That is why I have the exact same brushed iKamper logo as the 3.0, but you know, 99.9% of them will have the other one. So there is a pole that can go in here, and this part that I have folded up right here kind of opens up like a little canopy. I'll show you that on the 3.0, but on mine, the brackets are underneath. So if you're inside and you're trying to reach out and get to that, it is really very annoying. Want to open up the canopy? It is pretty difficult to do from the inside on this one, but on this one, it's actually on the top, so you can just kind of reach out and grab it. Now you can reach out and grab it on that one, it's just a little bit more difficult. This is just a little bit of a design upgrade, making it even easier. So the very last thing that's going to be different is the mounting brackets here. This is a little bit different than the ones that come with mine. I have those at home. I don't need them because of the rack that I have. So these are the brackets on the new one here. These are going to be able to accommodate a much beefier roof rack, and this will be a little bit more versatile. So on mine, I actually don't have the bracket at all. I got this set up from Running for Tacos. You'll have to ask them how they did this. It looks like it's just a little bracket here that goes across. This is the Outgear Solutions, like, I think it's called the low profile crossbar. If you're interested in getting this, you'll have to ask Running for Tacos what this setup is here. I'm not really sure, but the 2.0 one does not look like that. It is a lot different and probably could not accommodate such a wide crossbar as the 3.0 mounting. So I guess the big question is, would I actually upgrade as someone who has the 2.0? Now, personally, it really doesn't bother me, the color of the tent. I do really like this gray granite one here, and I highly, highly recommend the iKamper SkyCamp line. So if you're looking between the two, I would go with the 3.0 100%. If you don't have either the 2.0 or the 3.0 and you're looking right now, I would personally go for the 3.0. If you already have the 2.0, then I don't really see a massive need to make that change.